What's up guys, this is Yash and today it is a different kind of video. This is a video in which I'm standing right in front of you and talking about things and not actually in front of a computer screen and discussing about how to make a Shopify pixel or how to make a Facebook pixel or all of this gibberish. I don't know. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for the view. Thank you so much for coming and watching this video. I don't know why I'm doing this video in particular, but I really thought that if I am coming here and I'm trying to tell you guys to learn this from me or do this in life or do that in life, I really need to put it out there. Who am I? Who is Yash Serena? Who am I in particular? So I wanted to come out clean and tell you, like, I'm an average Joe. I'm an average Joe. Didn't go to school for coding. I didn't go to school for mainly business like that. I did go for a bachelor's in marketing and a bachelor's in entrepreneurship and a minor in accounting. But do you think I need all those three things in my daily life and business? Not really. There are a few talents that I learned over time because I came to the United States not too long ago. I am not a native here. It took me a little while to get here. I moved in here and I had to learn skills, which I always never had. I was up till the age of 18. I always had it in my mind that there's gonna be a day I'm gonna get a good job, which is gonna start paying for my bills and I could go achieve things. And I would think and write that I would make $3,000 a month or $8,000 a month or $6,000 a month on this day, this type. And I thought someone's gonna pay me for that, for my smarts. When I got into the workforce and I was 18 years old, my first job, and I go and I work really hard, I always felt one thing, that regardless of how hard I work, no one could actually appreciate my effort every day. And that totally makes sense. The thing is, I would go and I try to do different things every day and I try to do it better every day. But what happened was, my boss saw I was doing great things for the first week, but the 7th, 8th day onwards, they're like, oh, this guy always does good. So they stopped looking at you, thinking that you're really good. All I did, I was making $1,800 a month, and from there I went to like about 24 or something like that, but I was not hitting numbers that I thought I would. I was not making 4 grand a month. I was not making 8 grand a month at the rate that I thought I would. Excuse the truck if it's going behind. I'm not sure about how the camera is picking up the voice. It's a new camera, new mic, totally new setup, so I'm not sure how it's picking it up, but I hope it's picking and doing good. But anyways, so all of this, when I thought, I wasn't sure if that is what I wanted to become. If I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do that job. So I thought that that job was wrong. My effort was not being seen. I went ahead and I got a next job. I tried really hard and there was a next job available. There was a better pay available. I got into that and I worked my ass off and I told them that I'm gonna make it happen. I could do it. And that time, accounting was my major at school. So it was an accounting related job. I sat down in front of the computer, started pushing out some numbers, and I started seeing things happen. I started reconciling their books, I started doing the debits and credits right, I started doing the journals right, and everything. Things started to catch up. What happened? My boss, I was working directly under the CFO at that time, and they started to appreciate the work effort that I had. By the time I wanted to stretch out and wanted to become me and wanted to say, hey, look, this is what's important, this is what's important, they didn't like it much, because when someone hires you, I think it's a mentality, or probably it's an old school mentality that people tend to stick to. It's like, hey, if this is your job, stick to it. And as you grow, people don't see that they want, like, people never realize that what I was trying to tell them was from the best of my knowledge, and maybe that could make results in their business. It was a situation in which I was a bookkeeper, most probably. I was a bookkeeper and they called me an accountant, but I was more like a bookkeeper. I was keeping books, I was journalizing and everything, and I was going to school for accounting. That the company had 2 little parties, right? So one part actually managed a whole another thing, and the same owner owned another company. So I was a full-time employee for the parent corporation who owned both the other corporations. So one of them was an e-commerce store. When I went into that e-commerce store and I started seeing how things are being worked about, the mindset, how people are making things happen, and I loved working underneath them. Because I was working with these teenagers, these 20 years old, these 27, 28 years old, 3 young partners who started this business. They were the sons of the owner, and they started this business, and they had the zeal. They were like, oh my God, I'm so close to $1 million. And I was like, oh my God, they might be doing about $10 million in sales if they each are getting close to $1 million. But was that true? It wasn't. It wasn't true. They were not actually doing $10 million. They were doing $80,000 a year. But it was their mindset that kept them going. It was their mindset that kept on telling them that, hey, you're so close to $1 million. From there, a lot of things happened on the other parent end. There was an e-commerce store, and then there was another domain kind of thing. Domain, what you have on your websites. It's a whole another story. I don't want to tell you. That's the second company, B, let's call it. And when I was reconciling their books, and they had problems, ups and downs, and I saw that there was something wrong in the books, and I took it to the CFO, and the CFO totally ignored me. He's like, hey, we don't talk about this here. I'm like, I see that there is a problem. These numbers don't match up. But few days of me telling them this is wrong and this is not working, they made me part-time. They stopped giving me work for the other company B, and they just left me working with point A, with the A part of the company, because they probably thought threatened, and they probably thought that I was bringing out information that they didn't want to share. So all of that stuff happened, and I couldn't work part-time because my bills were not being paid. I had insurance and car and all of that things added up. So I said, hey, I need more than part-time. I need to at least know a reason why I'm being put part-time. So they told me that I'm just good for accounting. I'm not all that good for all of this and that. So I was so fed up with this thought that I'm so bad at accounting. I went to school and I changed my major. And I didn't know what I'm gonna actually get. So I actually took my name off of accounting, and I said, I'm just gonna finish whatever classes are going on in my semester right now, but I don't know if I really wanna get a degree in accounting. So all of these things changed just because of that experience that I had, and I was mere, I think 21 years old at that time. So, the long story short, I left that job because I knew I couldn't do anything, and they kept telling me, oh, you can't do anything. I was super demoralized. One day I just woke up, I said I'm not gonna look for a next job. I had no savings whatsoever, obviously. So I just said, I'm gonna go ahead and start my own business. And I said, I wanna be the next, I just said a name. So I said, okay, I wanna become that, and I left everything, got on that chain, and started working. So that was about 4 years ago. I started this company, and I learned so much. I think my school never helped me, and everything that I learned in marketing and entrepreneurship almost never helped me. There was just one class I really loved that professor. He was the most inspiring professor ever. I watched him, I grew, I learned so much in his classes, and it was just a 8-week or 12-week class, and that was the best class of my college because it was so hands-on. We had discussions. I loved the whole total format of that class, and I loved the teacher, and he is a successful entrepreneur. He has over $10 million worth, and he's insane. So all of that happened to me. That pushed me into the business field, and I was about a week into it, and I went to overseas to get my product ready. I went to overseas to get it done and right and everything, and a lot of hurdles happened. I had to borrow money from family, and a lot of hurdles happened. And all the time my mind kept on telling me, will you be able to do this? Or should you do it? Or what if you fail, right? All of these questions kind of told me that I need to work hard. None of these questions said you need to stop and do something else. All of these questions just kept on telling me that I have to work harder. So what I did, I worked harder. I tried to set up something in a way, I don't know how. It was, I think, 8-9 months into the business, everybody started telling me like, go get a job, or it's not gonna kind of work out for you, and all the things, right? And I felt like shit. I didn't feel like shit, so I thought I should actually wrap up, not do this business. So it was about a year into the business, not making any money, hardly making any sales. The first year in business, we just did $25,000 in sales. That was, the total sales amount was so low, and I was thinking I'm gonna hit $1 million in the first year just because my goals were as such. So it was about a year into the business, and I was like, oh my God, it's time. So just had a word with my girlfriend that night, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go home and I'm gonna sit down in front of the computer, go through jobs and try to find jobs and apply for them. So that was my final decision. I'm gonna go back into the workforce, try to at least make that stable income, right? So I go and I opened up my browser, and the first thing I opened up was Facebook. So I scrolled down, and I don't know who the heck in the world was the person who shared this video. It was Patrick Bet-David's video. It was the video Patrick put up about him sitting in a Ferrari going and saying, hey, people don't see the unpaid bills of the entrepreneur or the struggle of an entrepreneur. Everybody looks at the fame, and he comes out of his Ferrari and all of the cool stuff. And I'm like, I watched that video and watched the video second time, and it was such a nice video. I went to his website, and I remember you put in your email ID and they would send you like a little forum, like a little whole thing to fill up and see who you are and what you are and kind of analyze you. I did that, and oh my god, since that day I follow Patrick Bet-David so closely. I think he's one of my mentors. He might not know me, and I would love if you guys actually get to see this video and you follow Patrick Bet-David, please try to give me a shout out so Patrick Bet-David could see this video. I really would love to talk to that man. He got me going, he got me rolling into this industry, he got me rolling in business. I would have given up about two and a half years ago. So Patrick Bet-David got me going. So that day I just texted my girlfriend like, hey, I'm staying in it, I'm not gonna give up. Stayed on it, made it happen. I'm having goosebumps while I'm telling you all of this. This is insane. I don't know why am I doing this, but it's giving me goosebumps right now, guys. It's crazy. But I did that, watched the video, went back at it, and fast forward today, we're getting there. We're really close to hitting big numbers. I could make bigger goals in life. I feel that I'm getting there. I'm not reached anywhere, because like how they say, success is a journey, not a destination. I want to 10x. I want to get myself bigger. I want to become the big thing. I really work hard on that. I really appreciate you guys for watching, and probably if you stayed till this long and heard the whole video and you spent that much time listening to what I just said. I'm not sure why I'm doing this video, but I still did it because I thought I wanted to actually discuss it with you guys who are struggling, or if I could inspire you. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of Patrick Bet-David's video that kept me going, and I'd really appreciate if he could get, like, you could get inspired by his video. That video is insane, got me going, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And if you think you could relate to me, and if you think my story kind of makes sense, give this video a thumbs up, and go ahead down there, share this video if you want. Tell people that it's okay, don't give up, right? Share my story, it'll be great. And if you can, please hit the subscribe button right here, and my previous video right here. Thank you so much. Peace. I appreciate you. I appreciate the view. Thanks.